All right, I think this one's huge. I was listening to Ed Milet, yes, again, and he was talking about quality time remaining. And the idea is be present in what you're doing, be present in the here and now, because you never know when it's going to be your last time to do that thing, when it's going to be your last time with a loved one. Definitely when my mom passed, we knew she was going. And we got to spend the 3 or 4 days with her. And I think we cherished it so much more because we did know that this was it. We talked a lot of memories with her and had her laughing. But then when she was still there but not there, we just talked about them between ourselves. And I just thought getting to have these last laughs with mom, these last fun memories and talk about them was so precious and priceless. But so many things in life, we were not aware they were the last one. And would we look at it differently if we did? This is going to tell you how weird I've always been. This weirdness is not new. Me and my best friend, Colette, used to dress up as old ladies, Matilda and Myrtle, and we would go see the mothers in the neighborhood and visit with them as Matilda and Myrtle. And I won't say what age, but we started this out. We went to one lady's house, and she called all her friends and said, "Hey, I've got some ladies visiting that I'm going to bring to you." And so we just had this little route after that we would go visit these ladies as Matilda and Myrtle. And it was fun, it was goofy, it was just in the moment kind of thing, just really innocent. And we loved it. But the last time we did it, we didn't know it was the last time. And would we have looked at it differently? So Matilda and Myrtle were kind of our alter ego. And they used to, back in the day, I don't remember these, my mom told me, they used to offer granny licenses, driver licenses, right, for people after they got so old. And so my mom took us to the DMV, and me and Colette went in as Matilda and Myrtle and asked for granny licenses. So when we did this persona, we took it 100. They became like valued friends. And we didn't know the last time we dressed up as them that would be the last time. I really think we would have enjoyed that moment so much more. We would have made better memories of it. The coolest part is we both were wearing our grandmother's dresses, and our grandmothers had both passed at that point. So, a special memory. But I can't help but wonder how much better it would have been if I would have known that this was the last. You know, my granddaughter and I, dancing in the rain's our thing. And we did it this year up camping. Now, she's in middle school, so how many more years am I going to have of her being willing to dance in the rain with me? Will I even know the last time we do it that she won't want to do it ever again? I don't think I will, but I really hope that I take each opportunity and treat it as if we may never do this again. So live in the moment, enjoy every moment of it. Keep this memory, make it that important as if it is the last time. There are so many things in life that I think we would treat differently if we knew. And since we can't know, it's really important that we're present in our interactions with people. We're present in our moments. If that moose I seen, we seen quite a few, but the last moose I seen up hunting, if that's the only moose I get to see in the wild from here on out, I think I would have wished I spent more time just feeling its presence, just looking at how majestic it truly is. You know, There are so many magic moments we have in this life. So many things that we take for granted. And I think if we really look at our quality time remaining, and if we really look at assuming we're never going to get to experience this again, we are going to find more joy in everything we do. We are going to find that we are going at everything with such a different energy, such a different thought process, that I think it's going to enhance our life. Now, the problem is, at least for me, I get caught up in the day-to-day thing, and I sometimes forget to be grateful for the moment. I sometimes am just hurrying past that moment so I can get on to the bigger problem, right? Or to the more fun thing. And I'm probably not the only one. I really hope I am, so that you guys are making the most of every moment. But I'm probably not the only one who does that. I really hope that if you take nothing else from this, that you understand those small moments are big. Those small moments you will wish for if it was your last one of those. You will wish that you had another one of those small moments. You will wish that you had not taken it for granted. I know my son Kyle, when he went out riding the day he became paralyzed, he had no idea. That was his last carefree moment. That was his last moment of pushing the envelope, right? If he would have known that, I think the joy in the moment would have been so much bigger. He would have appreciated just that freedom of having that motorcycle under him, that freedom of pushing the limits, that freedom of being authentically who he was, that unscared daredevil. And I think if I had known that that was the most or last moment I was seeing that carefree side of him, I would have held on to it a little more. I would have cherished it. We were able to, looking back at pictures shortly after he got paralyzed, maybe a year or so, and I found, wow, sorry, the last picture we took of him standing, and it's him and my sons, Brody and Tyler. And in that moment, I had no idea. That was the last picture we were going to have of his legs walking. Now, don't get me wrong, his life is not sad. It's just not what it used to be, right? It's different. It's heavier because he understands now the cost of decisions. He understands how quickly life can change in a minute. And it breaks my heart that he didn't get to do everything he wanted beforehand, or that we did not cherish the moments he had beforehand. Now, like I said, he still has a great life. He is amazingly smart. His life just changed, that's all. But we didn't know it was going to change, and I think we wouldn't have taken for granted everything we did. He was that kid that at 3 years old had his training wheels off of his bike and had one foot on the handlebars and one foot on the seat and flying down the road on that bike. Fearless. He was that BMX racer, that, all-star soccer player, that mechanic. All the things that he got to do without thought of how hard it would be without his legs. Without thought of the blessing he had in the moment. He just got to enjoy it innocently without realizing these things could be taken away. The quality time remaining, that's so impactful. If we were to understand that with every moment of every day and be more present and live it to the fullest, what a beautiful life. Now, I am going to try really hard to do that. But realistically, there are going to be moments I'm going to totally miss the mark. But if I do it more often, you know what? I'm ahead of the game. Because, I'm sorry, just sometimes life takes us to a spot where I'm not on all the time, right? So just be more mindful of your moments. Be more mindful of how blessed you are. Because we don't always recognize them when they're happening. So let's start trying to recognize the moment as something extremely special, as a thing we are blessed to get to do, to get to enjoy, to get to see, a person we are blessed to get to be in that moment with. You know, these little machines over here that take so much of our time isn't going to be where our memories are made. It's not. It's going to be with that person you love, the people that you connect with. Those are the moments. We need to spend the time in quality moments, because that is where life is made. That is where memories are made. That is where beauty happens. Thank you for spending this time with me and for listening with an open heart and for choosing to invest in your growth today. If this episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need the reminder that their dreams still matter. Sometimes one conversation, one message, one moment of encouragement can change everything. And if you want to go deeper, my book, Rise, Believe, Become, was written for the in-between seasons, the moments when you know there's more for you, but you're still finding the courage to take the next step. You can find my book on Amazon, and remember, no matter what phase you're in, your dreams don't expire. Until next time, keep rising.